and welcome. I'm Joyce, and here's what happened this week. With just 4 months to go before the 2024 Paris Olympics, Taiwanese star long jumper Lin Yutang is getting ready for the biggest leap of his career. Sandy Chi went to see how he's preparing for the Games.
Long jumper Lin Yutang is used to making big leaps. After a slow start in a sleepy town in Taiwan's outlying islands of Penghu, Lin trained hard and landed himself on Taiwan's national team. Now he's bound for the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics. Long jump can be traced back to the ancient Olympics. Although the concept is simple, it requires timing, power, technique, and flexibility to pull off. Things 23-year-old Lin has plenty of.
你助跑过来，你还要去上板，因为像我们有时候可能速度太快，我们的肌力可能没有办法承受住我们可能跑过来10秒，然后我们要瞬间停下来踩板，把它转换成垂直起跳。
Lin is Taiwan's top long jumper and the country's best hope to win the first Olympic medal in the sport. In 2023, he broke the national long jump record at the Asian Athletics Championships when he cleared 8.4 meters. That would have been enough to secure bronze at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. But Olympic glory is still a tall order for the shorter-than-average triathlete.
我国小升国中那时候只有应该不到150公分吧，因为我们那时候就是纯有点像练开心的吗？就国小的时候，就是我们利用下课时间大家出来运动这样子。
Lin makes up for his height with his work ethic and determination. Strengths that caught the attention of his coaches.
玉堂应该是说他是一个非常有运动天分的选手，虽然说他个子不高，但是他的身体的一些机灵反应能力都特别的好，再加上他也蛮聪明的。
Lin has worked with different coaches who've pushed him to go the distance.
我觉得说我喜欢他就是其实蛮自由自在的啦，然后每天可以玩沙，其实技术层面也算蛮高的。你要跑啊加跳，其实它结合起来是我蛮喜欢的。然后到现在，我觉得我喜欢他的成功感。
But all the running and jumping took a toll. Lin had to face his greatest fears at 19 when he snapped a nerve during training.
就是连走都不行，就是你脚踝一直都是朝下，你可能走路走一走就会，再说有石头或是有小凸的东西，你可能可以正常走过去没事，但是我是脚尖是朝下，我会直接踢到，然后就可能摔倒。
Lin went through months of physical therapy. He was an Olympic-level runner, learning how to walk again.
那时候想说啊，练了这么久，突然这样子，我真的能恢复吗？因为其实我们受伤，我们不怕不练，我们只怕说我能恢复到哪一段的时期，我们运动生涯还有剩多久。
He used his recovery to work on skills and exercises that he neglected when focusing on jumping. He says support from his family, friends, and coaches pushed him through the hard times.
那时候我就觉得说，其实没有人放弃我的时候，有人相信我的时候，还没放弃我的时候，那我更不可以放弃我自己。还没到最后一刻的时候，谁输谁赢不一定。
With his coaches and family behind him, Lin will represent Taiwan at the 2024 Olympic Games. With just months to go until then, he's focused on one goal: making the leap into the finals. Luffy Lee, Patrick Chen, and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
An annual cultural festival is attracting young artists to the southern Taiwan countryside. Tiffany Wong went to take a look.
Taking a walk down memory lane, Wang Zhaoqian has been a pioneer in the Jiayi art scene for decades. Growing up, he says the southern Taiwan county was a lonely place for artists. Wang left his hometown to study theater arts in Taipei, but knew early on that he wanted to return to change that for future generations.
I told my friends, though, that I want to go to Chiayi. They just told me, are you crazy? You back to Chiayi to do art? No, you're crazy. It's impossible.
That was over a decade ago. Now, Wang is the founder and curator of the Grass Straw Festival, one of the largest performing arts festivals in the county, which has transformed the area's art scene.
The Grass Straw Festival 它吸引了越来越多的返乡青年加入，你会看到户外的市集啊，户外的演出，它其实都是返乡的青年组合而成的。
Some of his closest collaborators are also Jiayi returnees, like his co-curator Huang Mingzhang. Huang spent a decade working as a magazine editor in Taipei, but moved back to Jiayi 2 years ago a move he never expected to make. But he says he's witnessed a transformation in his hometown, partly thanks to the festival.
In the past, we will think it's not possible to work with many young people in Chiayi, but now it's possible. And we work together very closely and create something like we have never imagined before.
This is the 16th Grass Straw Festival to be held here at the Chiayi Performing Arts Center. But it's also the first year that the festival has expanded into the county at satellite sites, which showcase the county's unique art and culture. This way, the curators hope to encourage more young artists from Chiayi to look for inspiration within their hometown.
And in its 16th year, which marks the coming of age in some parts of Taiwan, the festival theme invites visitors to reflect on the complexities of their youth, as the curators do the same, realizing how far they've come, all while staying in their hometown of Chiayi.
When I saw the park in Chiayi or the mountains in Chiayi, I think of my youth and what I have been doing here like when I was young.
And looking at the audiences here, coming to the Grass Straw Festival may very well become one of those formative memories for the county's next generation of artists and creatives. Devin Tsai and Tiffany Wong in Chiayi County for TaiwanPlus.
A dispute has erupted in Taipei over a plan to hand part of the city's oldest brewery to a university. It's the latest disagreement over urban renewal as city officials look to refurbish historic sites. Wesley Lewis has the details.
Taiwan beer, an iconic symbol of the country's heritage. But now tensions are brewing over a government proposal to hand over part of the company's Jianguo beer factory to National Taipei University of Technology. The plan is to repurpose land equal to about 3.5 American football fields right in central Taipei. And Taiwan Beer says the move will be good for the university, the company's staff, and for local residents.
相信未来可以制造三赢啊，北科大能够有块新的校地来解决校地不足啊。第二个就是我们台酒的烟酒公司，我们的员工他们的工作权继续维持。第三个，我们的开放空间里面让附近的旅民他们都能够有休憩的空间。
The brewery was founded in 1919 during Taiwan's Japanese colonial period. It's a site steeped in history, and it's the birthplace of Taiwan beer. It currently neighbors a beer hall with a live music venue, forming a cultural park that welcomes amblers and beer drinkers alike. But some scholars worry repurposing it will cut it off from the public.
如果是这样被切割之后呢，我觉得我们所谓的啤酒文化园区的整体系统里面，从制造、酿造、游客的参访、体验、品尝这样的一个情境就会被切割掉。所谓的文化园区这个字的完整性大概就不可能存在了。
What's more, it's the last major active brewery left in Taipei, and workers' unions say the plan will disrupt their day-to-day operations.
电呢，也是在它的里面啊，变压器在它给它的里面，冷冻机、水塔水池，甚至瓦斯锅炉都在给它的里面。你要叫我们怎么活？
The Brewers Union and academics have now signed a joint petition to keep the Jianguo Brewery as it is now. The renovation plan is only the most recent case to attract debate over urban renewal. A viaduct built in 1982 obscuring Taipei's historic North Gate led to years of protests by the public, leading planners to finally tear it down in 2016. Historic spaces like the Jianguo Brewery can be deeply meaningful to the public, and for some people, preserving the past means more than changing for the future. Chris Ma and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwanese folk musicians are sharing their sound with the next generation in an urgent effort to keep their culture alive. A masterclass in Taiwanese lutes, fiddles, and folk singing. The best players of Taiwanese folk music, including famed singer and composer Tseng have come together to share their music as part of an effort to keep their treasured sound alive.
我们一代也是这样一代传下来的嘛，因为我们上个月的努力，让我们今天台湾可以这么丰富嘛。那我们也希望下一代会比我们更丰富。
Students who signed up for the special class averaged about 35 years of age, giving organizers hope that young people in Taiwan do have an interest in the dying art. Students say the music helps them feel closer to home.
像我自己小时候是学钢琴，就觉得说，那我既然学了钢琴，那我有没有可能学一个就是我们台湾自己的东西这样子？
跟家人的关系比较好，因为就等于说我其实拿乐琴回去找我妈妈，然后可能弹一些民谣给她，然后像我可能不是唱得很顺，但是她就会唱得很顺，然后她就会说这是她小时候都有唱过的歌这样子。
Carrying on cultural legacies is not an easy task, but folk musicians have newfound hope in these passionate students to help this uniquely Taiwanese sound play on. A local restaurant is the last one left in the country that cooks its food with horseshoe crab shells. It's an 80-year-old practice once common in central Taiwan. But as horseshoe crabs are an endangered species, this cultural practice may need to come to an end. Irene Lin reports.
This oversized cooking tool may look unusual, but it was once commonly used in central Taiwan. It's the shell of a horseshoe crab, and Chef Huang Yurong says the shell's properties help in the cooking process.
手其实不烫，因为其实 hook 它这个不导热，那你手一直在搏动的时候，它蒸汽它其实是一直在流动的。
The shell softened with the heat, making them perfect for stirring delicate ingredients without breaking them.
它独有的功法就是用 hook 下去炒这个面，炒起来好像比较柔软。
有的人炒迄油面拢敢若安尼，炒几下就起来，迄味拢还袂离去。伊这有倒会变成小花黏黏啦，像这个炒。
West Coast locals have been catching horseshoe crabs and using their shells for generations. The crabs live close to the beach and shed their shells as they grow. Local fishers saw the opportunity to cook with the empty shells left behind. But getting a taste of shell-fried noodles has become harder. These living fossils are endangered and face threats from fishing activities and climate change.
喺亞洲嘅馬蹄蟹咧，其實如果令到即係全球暖化啲水位上升嘅話咧，其實好多地方嘅棲息地咧可能係會消失嘅。咁呢樣嘢亦都可能會喺香港出現，因為香港而家好多個沙灘，咁當你將來海水個水平面上升嘅時候咧，即係啲沙灘可能就淹沒咗。
Like the species itself, this traditional culinary practice is also disappearing. For over 8 decades, there were a dozen restaurants cooking with horseshoe crab shells. Now, as the younger generation have left town and with fewer crabs, it's down to 1. Huang Yurong says she's doing her part to pass on the tradition.
就是不希望说这样传统的产业就这样消失不见。我也不希望说未来小朋友他只知道说在图书馆看到或者是在博物馆看到，他不知道他真正的使用方式是什么。
For cooks like Huang and researchers of horseshoe crabs, the priority is to educate the public more and find a way to keep the tradition and, more importantly, the species alive for generations to come. Chris Ma and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
A whale shark has been spotted in a rare sighting off Taiwan's east coast. A man noticed the large animal while out fishing on his boat in waters off Hualien County. He cut the engine and began taking this video, showing the docile whale shark circling the boat 3 times. Whale sharks are not whales, but actually the world's largest fish. They are an endangered species and are protected in Taiwan. Taiwan's first ever wildlife rescue center has treated 14,000 animals since its founding. The Ministry of Agriculture established the country's central animal clinic in 1993. Besides treating injured wild creatures, it's also bred and reintroduced endangered species into their natural habitats. These include leopard cats, Formosan black bears, and pangolins. Thank you for watching. Here's what happened. Finally, check out these cherry trees in full bloom on the quad at the University of Washington in Seattle. I'm Joyce. Take care and see you next week.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, download the TaiwanPlus app.